Okay, so it's time for a little mini project here. Going out to the yard. My wife got a table that she can use, but she needs it for kids. And so the table has to be cut down. Where's the table? The table is right here. Da-da-da-da. The nice work table. Let's see, it's kind of backlit right now. Let's go the other way. There it is. So this table is probably 30 inches tall. It has to be cut down to 24 inches. And the quickest way to do it would be to turn it on its side and saw off the legs with a circular saw without taking them off. But I think I'm going to spend, instead of 5 minutes, I'm going to spend, 15 or so. Remove the legs, cut them, sand them, bolt them back on. Because why not? It's a pretty interesting corner bracket. This is a free Craigslist table. No, free Facebook table. And there's an interesting corner bracket here. And I'm going to be making my own table soon. I'll use a piece of wood and lag bolts and a much larger leg. But this is quite nice the way this was done. I think it was a lot faster, a lot better rather, to take the legs off. I'll show you what I mean. So here's how the leg looks. I took it off, put it in the chop saw, and went very slowly, and got almost a sanded finish, beautiful, smooth finish from that blade. Then I put it in the belt sander, which is 2 by 60 inch, 2 by 60 inch, 2 by 72 inch belt sander, and I cut these chamfers, and then I painted them black to give them a nice look. Actually, I didn't paint them black. They the belt's moving so fast that not only does it take the wood away, but it burns it, and I could spend time sanding that burn away. But I kind of like it as an accent. It almost looks painted. Here's another one. And this will be down on the floor. So I'm going to leave it. Good work table. Here is the DeWalt cordless drill that I've used for years and years and years. And I just bought something for it that is awesome sauce, which is one of these adapters. If I can get you, there you go. It's, let's see. There. It's a 3/8 square drive adapter. And I use this all the time. I only got it maybe 6 months ago, which is crazy because I could have used it for the last 40 years of my life. These are excellent. I have a drawer full of adapters, a drawer full of drives, screwdriver drives, hex drives, star drives, Phillips nut drivers. There's the 1/4 inch on the right, and then this is, where is it? Oh, it's way over here. This is 1/2 inch drive here. So these 3 drives cost $7 on eBay from China, and they have been just excellent. If you don't have these and you're working on cars, working on anything, do yourself a favor and go get them. Also, I finally spent 2 hours of my life drilling all these holes into a piece of stair tread that was left over from a project. This sort of thing has helped enormously. How to increase shop productivity by 100%. Yep, this is it. The shop apron. How much time do we spend looking for? Where did I set down my tape measure? Where is my fine black Sharpie? Where is my awesome silver black Sharpie for marking on metal, dark metal? These are great, by the way. How much time do you spend going, I can't find the razor knife. I want to sharpen my pencil. You know, we don't want to get organized. I don't know why, but this dorky apron has really made a difference, because if I can remember to put something in it instead of laying it down on the table, walking around, it's over here, it's over there, I really can save hours in a week, maybe more, just by having this, not having to go back and forth and back and forth. And it's made by Bucket Boss. Bucket Boss, I think I paid $18 for this, $16 for it on eBay. So this isn't working so well. These are goggles that should fit over my glasses, but they kind of don't. They kind of bang into the edges, and then this happens. Also, they're filthy, because anything that's here is going to get sawdust and metal dust and everything else in it. So this has got to be, I got to do something else with this. Highly recommended. So I wanted to make a video showing how the spade bits, the brad point bits, and the Forstner bits are actually being used in wood. So what I decided to do was set up another camera that I have that shoots 10 times slow motion. This camera will go up to 240 frames per second. So I'm going to shoot some of that and show you what that looks like. So this is a brad point bit, and you'll notice it's wobbling pretty good. See, the tip is making a circle, and it cuts a little circle in the wood. But it's going to do a pretty darn good job of cutting the edge of the circle, which is, I think, the whole point of a brad point bit. You'll notice that the outer tip of the bit cuts really nicely into the wood and gives you a nice cut. Now the center, the wood fibers are being kind of torn out. They're not really being cut off so much as they are sort of being abraded. We jump to later. And as I start to pull the bit out, the tension, the board isn't pressed down to the top of the drill press, and the bit bangs around. And as it bangs around, it messes up the sides, the nice sides. And I think the way to keep this from happening would be to simply turn the drill press off when I've reached the depth of cut. then the bit's not spinning anymore, and I won't get the messed up edges that you see here. So that would be one way. The other way would be to find bits that aren't so bent. I mean, this bit is clearly bent. Here's a brad point bit, and it's also bent. We jump to later, and as it makes its initial cut, the edge makes its initial cut, you'll see it's making a really nice cut actually. The inside of the cut is abraded, or kind of the wood fibers are torn and ground, but the outer edge is really nice and sharp. We'll see that here. So we put more pressure on it. This is a 13/16. And once again, as I remove the bit, it bangs on the edges and it messes up those nice edges. So I could do the same thing as before, turn the drill press off and then pull the bit out. Now this is a standard 1/2 inch drill bit that comes in those sets that you buy when you go to the home centers. It's usually the largest bit in the set, 1/2 inch, and it's made for drilling in steel, mild steel. We jump to later. This is doing a really good job. Of course, it's being held, the work is held to the table, but this actually is doing a nice job. It's not designed for wood. It does wood, of course. You can see there's some tear out. And now we come to really the best of all, especially for large bits for wood. This is a Forstner bit, and you can see it's giving us a lovely edge, sharp edge, not torn. And the other thing that's nice about it, this particular bit has carbide inserts. The cutting edges are carbide, which is super hard, getting up there close to like a diamond. So this bit supposedly will last 10 times as long as a regular Forstner bit that's made out of, say, some kind of high-speed steel. And I think it will. But what's nice here, you'll see, as it is pulled out, it's not banging on the edges. And the bottom and sides are lovely, really nice and smooth compared with the other bits. Okay, what is the favorite new tool? A crescent wrench. Oh, for gosh sake. Yes, it is a crescent wrench. And it's a kind of an unusual one in that it is a 4-inch crescent wrench. Now, most of the time when you go into a store, a home center, for example, let me see if I can get the light a little better on this, you'll find a 6-inch, and the 6-inch is fine. But you can't really find the 4-inch because I think the reason why is most people just want to buy a single crescent wrench, a single small one. And this one, for example, the 6-inch, this goes all the way to 0, but then it also gets bigger. You know, it goes up to, I don't know, what is this, 3/4, something like that? Almost 3/4. This one, the 4-inch, goes to 0 also, but it doesn't get as big. So this tool, you just don't find it at your home center. And I think that's because most people would rather have a tool with a greater range, which is the 6-inch crescent wrench. But what's nice about the 4-inch, I can tell you, is it has a great tactile feel when you're working on really small stuff. When you're down around here, you know, 4mm, 5mm, this has a better feel in your hand, and you can feel that you're putting a certain amount of torque on it. And this is a bona fide crescent wrench rather than a knockoff. I think the knockoffs can be very good, but this one just has a great feel. I think I paid almost $20 for this tiny wrench, but it's been great. The alternative to this in a lot of situations is this. A whole bunch of these very small little wrenches. And they, of course, work great too. But what do? You go back and forth to your toolbox again and again, finding these things until you get the right one. You may have to if you have hardly any access. But this can stand in for all that. I was zooming in. This can stand in for all that. And it's really great. So once again, I think the reason you don't find this in a store is people don't want to buy a wrench that only has a smaller range. So you probably are not going to find this at home centers. You got to go online. But it's worth it. So that's it for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Oh, here's the next favorite tool. It's an old favorite tool. I have covered it with this piece of paper, and you can see a little bit of it there. I will show it to you next time.